on their analysis of injustice in the European Union countries, in Europe, in the world, and the inequalities. And for us who are fighting for more equality and more social justice, it's very important to have the proof of what we feel. That social inequality and the lack of social justice is not only an economic and a social issue, but is something which is affecting citizens' life. Citizens' life in the individual countries, but also around the globe. And one issue which is connected to social inequalities is, of course, migration. Migration, very often, people are pushed to go to other countries to try to find their fate, to find a job, to find some income. Very often we say, well, that's economic migration, it's different from other. Yes, of course it's different. But very often people don't see a chance to get the basic living for themselves. And then they try to leave the country. And we saw recently in Lampedusa and with the refugees from Syria, how many people are today on the move. And we see, by the way, that most of the refugees are in poor countries. So at least in Europe we should take some obligation to care for the refugees, to give them training, give them education, give them the chance, if it's possible, to go back in their country and to rebuild their countries. And of course this question of migration, Europe is very often connected with the Muslim or Islam religion. Very often Islamophobia has been broadened in our countries, and I particularly welcome that there are colleagues who try to fight for integration, for acceptance. It's not only tolerance, it's much more than tolerance. It's respect, it's acceptance and integration we have to fight for, and I'm very happy that you are here, because Anna told me how important your work is, and how it is a good example also for others to think about it. Trade unions. For us as socialist Democrats, trade unions play an enormous role in society, and it was also today when we discussed the issue with Kate and Richard, that in societies which are more equal, trade unions have a bigger role to play, and where there are strong unions, it is more equal, the society. So I think trade union in our countries already it's difficult sometimes, but in your country it has been very, very difficult for many, many years, and it's very good that you did a lot of work on that. And of course, in the world today with extractive industries, and I could discuss it not in your country, but I could discuss it in Peru and in Colombia, it is a very, very big issue that some of the industries, some of the companies, some of the governments don't respect the right of indigenous people, and therefore I think it is also very important that you are here. So all what is done with the Islamic community, all what is done on the question of migrants, what is done on the role of trade unions in support of indigenous people, and in the analysis of inequalities in our societies, these are elements which touching our hearts and minds, because we deal with this issue in the European Parliament very much. So these are crises by chance or by intention, which are questioning many of our complacencies on many of these issues, but supporting many of our efforts to make a positive contribution from this Parliament for improving the situation, for respect and for acceptance, which should be the main line in a globalized world, and not intolerance, not separation, not discrimination, not xenophobia. So I think the crisis here are a very good message, and I congratulate those who decided on it. And thank you very much, Paka, for having done this, and all the colleagues who have promoted it, because again, from this evening and from this crisis, a very, very good and important message is coming to Europe, and for that we also pledge our continuous support, because prizes are given to you in order to invite you and incite you to continue your work you did, but also we want to pledge that we will continue the work you and promote and support the work you did, and hopefully you can continue also in the future. Thank you very much.
For hosting us this evening and all your support. We're going to move to the award ceremony now, and as you have heard, we can be in no doubt from what Connie has said, Baka and now Hannes, of the importance of the work of all our award winners tonight. What we're going to do in each case is I'm going to ask Connie to announce the winners in each case and tell us why they have won. Then they're going to come up, receive their prizes, they're going to make a little speech, I'm going to have a little chat with them, and so hopefully by the end of the evening you will have a deeper understanding of their work and the importance of it and the importance of your support to them. So, let us move to the first category of awards. The first category is social justice in Europe, and as was mentioned earlier, there are 2 awards in this category. Connie, tell us about the first winner in this category.
The good thing is I don't have an envelope to be opening, because we communicated who are the winners, but I think they deserve a special applause. We're speaking on the Migrants' Rights Center in Ireland and Mohammed Yunus, migrant leader. There are 2 good reasons. First of all, we think on Ireland, one of the countries which we call countries under memorandum of understanding, suffering from austerity, and a country which we knew 30 years ago with a whole generation leaving the country. And what do we see now? We see again a whole generation leaving the country, but still also many arriving. And I think the question, like Hannes said, the question of respect, the question not of tolerance, but respect, because it's completely different. The respect, the integration that is needed. There are always leaders in an organization, and this organization from Ireland, the Migrants' Rights Center, deserves a particular, and Mohammed Yunus also particularly. Therefore, I would like Baka to come up to get the prizes. And Simon, sorry, I have the old version. And they are represented by Gwen O'Toole, who is community worker from the Migrants' Rights Center in Ireland, and Mohammed Yunus, the migrant leader, and they are friends. And a special welcome to my friend Fintan Fell from the European Anti-Poverty Network, who is Irish, as you know, and who said, I have to come this year. You were always here, but this year we're making particular here because it's also a friend of yours, so particular welcome to you.
Okay.
The Migrants' Rights Center is awarded for the work to ensure justice, rights for migrants and their families in Ireland, and in particular Mohammed Yunus for his tireless campaigning on forced labor. Please come up.
And also, as well as Gronia and Mohammed Yunus, we have with us Wasim Yousaf, who also works with the centre. Please come up, you're going to receive your SOLIDAR and the Silver Road Award, and as I mentioned earlier, our jury member winners. Please do come and join me here on the panel. So as I mentioned, while they come up and make themselves comfortable, what we're going to do is we're going to hear from 2 of them. First of all, we're going to hear from Mohammed and from Wasim, and then I'm going to ask Gronia a couple of questions after their presentations. Wasim is also going to act as interpreter for Mohammed. So over to you, gentlemen. Welcome, congratulations, please.
Thanks, Jackie. Thanks for your warm welcome today. We are honoured to be acknowledged for our work on social justice, particularly in the area of forced labour, as we know it's modern-day slavery. And also rights for undocumented migrants. These are the key burning issues in Ireland and across Europe, as we all know. I myself got involved in Migrant Rights Centre about 3.5 years ago as an activist, because I can't just stand by if something is going wrong. I just want something to be changed. For the equal Ireland and for my new adopted home. Migrant Rights Centre for the last 10 years has taken a stand with migrants to tackle the root cause of inequality. We have worked with the workers from migrant backgrounds and with the families on the edge of the labour market in unregulated sectors such as domestic work, agriculture sector, constructions. We are based in Dublin, and we are often called a window for the migrants to seek for help. We also work in solidarity with the civil society to add power in our voices. We try to build alliances with the trade unions, just to go out and speak loudly, so the politician can hear what our demands are. We have, in the past, we have a lot of success. One of the most recent successes is that the modern day slavery, or we call it forced labor, was not a crime in Ireland, and now it's crime. And moreover, we reclaimed over €1.5 billion in unpaid wages for workers. We secured protection. We also introduced a bridging visa, which was really a big success for those who were undocumented in Ireland, who came in on illegal documents. And this campaign was not possible without a lot of activists, without the Migrant Rights Centre. And there's a lot more to do, as I heard this from a lot of our winners this evening and a lot of organisations. Yes, we have to do more. And especially I want to say something about the undocumented workers who came to Ireland, and I really want to say that these people really clean our house, clean our offices, take care of our children, who are the future of your country, of our country, of Europe, and we have to do something. We have to act, as what I saw this evening in front of this building. Act, react, and impact. And I hope the EU would listen to this and would do something about it. Thank you. And I'll hand over to Mohammed. He just will have a short conversation. It won't take long time, Jackie.
Please, thank you very much.
सबका शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ जिन्होंने मुझे मतलब वार्ड के लिए बुलाया, लेकिन माइग्रेट सेंटर और जो मेरे साथ जिन्होंने हेल्प किया, ये सब का मैं शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ। मैं लीगल आया था और मैं 7 साल काम करता रहा, और मैं माइग्रेट सेंटर और मेरे साथ बहुत ज्यादती हुई। माइग्रेट सेंटर के मेरे साथ एक आदमी लेकर गया और इन्होंने मेरी बहुत हेल्प किया। फिर मेरा केस चलना हो गया, फिर मेरा लेबर कोर्ट मेरा हक में मेरा गीता के फैसला 91,000 यूरो, और उसके बाद हाई कोर्ट ने मेरा उसने हाई कोर्ट अपील की थी। हाई कोर्ट ने फैसला कर दिया क्योंकि मेरे पास डॉक्यूमेंट नहीं सर। और फिर 3 साल हम जिदोजहद लड़ाई करते रहे, और उसके बाद फिर कानून आ गया। फिर उसके बाद जो मेरा हक सी वो मैं नहीं मिला, और मैं जितना तक ये मेरी बात मिला ये मैं जिदोजहद लड़ाई अपनी करता रहा। और उसके बाद मेरी अपनी जो बीवी बच्चे 11 साल से बाहर जाते हैं।
Thank you very much indeed, Mohammed. Wasim, can you remember all that?
I know Jackie. Sorry. What he's trying to say that he came to Ireland and he faced the modern day slavery for 7 years. He stand up. He don't want to go back. He just want to fight for not for himself, for all of the workers in Ireland, and to encourage them to come out and speak about their issues, so there would be a law. And with his support and with his work, the modern day slavery made crime in Ireland finally. And he said he would like to say thanks to everybody, including the SOLIDAR for giving him the award, and especially the Migrant Rights Centre who empowered him to come out and speak. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. before you all slip away, I just wanted to ask you something. Hannes said earlier he wanted to emphasise that not only have they supported you in the past, but he said we will continue to support you. How important is that support in your work? And what do you need? What do you want from, how can the European Union, how can all the people in this room help you in future to continue the great work you're doing?
Thanks, Jackie. I suppose in terms of an example of how we got support from Europe, and particularly in relation to forced labour and trafficking, there's been a huge focus on that at an EU level, and that's filtered down into our agenda in the Member States and in Ireland as well. So we have strong laws now, but obviously we need to do work on identification and victim supports, but it shows how the EU can have a big influence. In terms of what we'd like the EU to do, we've heard Mohammed Yunus there and Wasim, they both referred to the situation of undocumented workers, where people find themselves in situations where they fall out of the system within countries. Mohammed Yunus is a great example of that, where he was made undocumented by his employer, which happens in exploitative situations, and he is now owed to 92,000 by the High Court and is unable to claim that because the court has ruled he was undocumented. So there's two asks, I suppose, here. One is that undocumented people are entitled to claim where they have unpaid wages and be entitled to recoup that without fear of being returned home, without any fear. But I suppose secondly, what we would also ask, the European Parliament has an ideal opportunity now to look at there's directives coming up, the victims of crime, and that undocumented workers need to be included in that. We need to start respecting the rights and bringing undocumented workers out from the shadows and beginning to look at them as part of our labour market, because migration is such an important part of our labour market. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you join me in congratulating our winners once again? Thank you very much. There are two prizes, two awards in this category, the social justice category. Connie, tell us about the second award winners.
The second award winner is the Association of Islamic Community of Tapa das Meses and Martins from Portugal. They're represented by Mohamed Madou Cissé, the president, but he is not traveling alone because there's also a community of 14 people on the invitation of Ana Gomez who accompanied him. So there's all this delegation of your organization, but the prize goes as your representative to you for the work that you're doing for integrated Islamic people coming mainly from Western Africa into the Lisbon suburb area of Tapas dos Meses.
Thank you very much indeed, colleagues, and they're all at the back, the extra visitors, so round of applause. But please, will you come up? SOLIDAR member, Arbeiter, Solidarität und Germany, or ASB as it's more commonly known, who is celebrating their 125th anniversary this year, and ASB Germany. We'd like also to thank you, Knut, and thank ASB for their support for this event. Thank you to you for presenting the award. Please, come and join me, Mamadou. So, like before, we're going to hear from Mamadou first, and then I will ask him a couple of questions. So, we'll have a lot to carry here, but there we are. It is great to have you with us. Many congratulations. Over to you.
Thank you, everybody. Your Excellency, members of the European Parliament, members of Jury of SOLIDAR, representative of institutions, civil society, the President of SOLIDAR, fellow winners, and whole at large. We come here today from Tapa das Meses on behalf of people of Tapa das Meses, men and women. But we are the people who believe on God, we believe on work, we believe also that by good example, our ideas and partnership, we can produce a better society everywhere in the world. People who stand for humanity and we stand for solidarity. We are guided by the value that good human being has to speak, has to do good action for others. We believe also that only doing good is not enough for human beings to keep good, but we push as much people to do that good, to maintain good. Today is very important day to the Paradise Mercies, or I say the most relevant day to us. Of course, I say this one because the provision of this prestigious award, this one for our community represents what it is going to mark a very important day to the history that we are recognizing, we are accepted, we are hosted with our culture. Example of trusting in others. This means that others also can trust on us. Also, we are different. Tapaltas Mercedes neighborhood located in Sintra with high population density, 18,000 people in 40 hectares, 27 different nationalities, 26% of these people started by young age. About 4,000 people each year are benefiting directly from our services in Comunidad Islamica de Tapaltas Mercedes. Let me say, Your Excellency, the community of Tapaltas Mercedes has one of the most important projects to implement in that location. We want to construct a new community center. We call all European season makers, all European partners to help us, to join us, to transform this our simple dream into reality. We want to ask you for financial aids to grant construction of the community center and necessary human resources to change the Tapaltas Mercedes into meeting points of different cultures and diversity in Portugal, if possible in the world or in Europe. I would like to thank everybody from my heart, from deep of my heart. Everybody, men and women from Portugal, first of all, our partners around the world, everybody who has put directly or indirectly his idea into our project. May Allah, we Muslims, we used to call Allah as God. May Allah bless all of us, all of humanity, in every corner of our planet. Thank you, God bless you.
Thank you for that inspiration. Can I just ask you, you talked there about the work you're doing on a daily basis. Tell us a little bit more about the activities, what you're doing on a daily basis.
Our activities are too much to say in these few minutes. We work in a holistic approach. We try to, first of all, to identify problems, because as written, we are living in the Paradise Mercedes. It's an area of 40 hectares with 18,000 people. These people, most of them are vulnerable people. They are from 27 different countries. So imagine how much problem will exist in a place like that. So what we try to identify the problem of each one, first of all. Then we try, if we are able to give the response or to help directly, yes. If not, we direct or guide the person to the institution that can help.
Thank you very much. And just one question, you called there, you said you want to construct a new community centre, you called on European partners to help, you asked for aid. Is it also the support you get, awards like this, that knowing that people are supporting your work, is that also important apart from just the money?
Not just money, we need even technical help, we need human resources, as I mentioned in my speech. But money also is very good, very good, very important. Because zero people.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you join me in thanking Mamadou very much? Where is Mamadou's backing team. So bring it back. Celebration, so we are immensely grateful to have you here. Many congratulations once again. Okay, let us move on. We are now moving to our second category. This is the International Solidarity category, and again, we have two winners in this category. Connie, tell us about the first one.
The very first one.
Bueno, el lo que hacen es dar lecciones de portugués, lecciones de informática, para que siempre apoyo
and where we know
social.
that the right to freedom of association and the liberty of expression have been and are still largely under threat. And unserem has made this long trip because he is the Secretary General of the Federation of Trade Unions from Myanmar. So unserem is a representative of this trade union and deserves the prize for his essential role in the survival and now growth of the trade union movement in Myanmar.
Thank you very much. Join us to present the award. Claudia, as I mentioned earlier before you were here, a member of the jury. Thank you for that as well. Congratulations.
Thank you all. It's an honor. And first of all, this prize belongs to the whole FTUB and all the workers' movement that also was alive for the last 24 years. And also the trade unions, international trade unions that supported us all along. We didn't have anything to walk along, and they supported us all along, so it's a big thank you to all the international trade unions. As mentioned, I was away for 24 years, and I was interacting with the European Parliament. Many of you might have not met us, maybe I haven't met all of you, but I was here since about 96, working on the withdrawal of GSP from Burma, forcing, let's say, sanctions on the regime, because that was the only approach to get the regime to change. And now that there is change, there's transition in the country, we're back in Burma, doing what we wanted to do as trade unions. It has changed. As a country, we receive great support from the European Union, European Parliament, but as a unit, I have to say, as a trade union, we didn't get any support from the European Parliament and European Union. That is a fact. So we have to tell the fact, because we are now in transition, and we are at ground zero, because we are just emerging from a situation where I think we're 50 years behind even from Thailand. And if we're going to start, let's say, developing the country to socially aware, social justice stands up, I believe that we need help, and we would like to have the European Union, when it supports, trying to figure out how to support the trade unions as, let's say, specifically being supported so that we can develop together with the growth of the country. Nevertheless, changes come. We are back in country, and we thank all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You talked there about support, as you say, great support from the EU for the country, but not for the trade unions. Looking to the future now, as you say, as you build up from ground zero, what concretely would you like the EU, the Parliament, the people in this room do to help you in your work as you move forward?
As a country, now FDI is coming in. Companies, investments are coming in from Europe. And we would to ask the European governments so that the governments ask their investors to be aware of the social justice and not to let human rights abuse, workers' rights abuse take place. That's one. Another thing is, like I said, the support. It's not only about funds, but also the, let's say, the technology, these things. Also regarding the trade unions, that is what is needed. Then also on the political development. Remember that we are emerging from ground zero, including political development. We didn't have political parties that were openly walking for the last 40 years. So there is an NLD, there is a government that is in place. But we don't have clear, let's say, political philosophies that had built up the political parties. So especially if the socialists and the Democrats start making concrete programs for political development, training of political parties in the country, that would be very useful.
Thank you very much. Who was saying, yes, you need money, yes, you need that sort of support, but this technical support, this moral support, this support in so many different ways means so much. Congratulations again. Thank you for coming all this way to get your award. Ladies and gentlemen, have a round. I said earlier there were 2 prizes in this category, the International Solidarity category, and I'm going to ask Connie now to tell us a little bit about the second award winner in this category.
Yes, the second award winner comes from Guatemala. It's the Guatemala indigenous Ixil communities represented by the Center for Human Rights Legal Action, CALEH, represented by Juana Sanchez Toma, who is a member of the Ixil community, and Juan Francisco Soto, who is director at the Center for Human Rights Legal Action. The award goes to them for their fight for the truth to come out and for justice to be done regarding the crimes committed against the Guatemalan indigenous Ixil communities during the Civil War. A warm welcome.
for Relief and Development, of which SOLIDAR has been an active member for many years, and Olivier was, of course, a member of the Silver Rose jury this year, so thank you for that as well, Olivier. Welcome. Please come and join me. I also would like to welcome, as well as our 2 award winners, Jimena on stage. Jimena is going to provide some interpretation during this part of the ceremony, so thank you very much for doing that. So, like before, we're going to hear from our award winners, and then we'll have a chat. Please.
Gente que es como tu cueva esa a tiro de Che como víctima de su conflicto armado interno y tanto por el testigo que Maruchanchao Corte y testigo caso por un anzapex no de atinos an chubu justicia atrinza diputelan al sofrir. Tengan muy buenas tardes a todos. Mi nombre es Juana Sánchez Toma, yo soy de San Juan Cotzal, del área Isil, departamento de Quiché, Guatemala. Hoy estamos reunidos aquí en Bruselas gracias a la Unión Europea que nos ha dado acompañamiento del proceso de justicia. Y ahora estoy aquí. Lo que quiero es seguir en adelante. Lo que busco es la justicia y la paz para que no haya más violencia para todos nosotros. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias. Quisiéramos agradecer al Parlamento Europeo, a todos los
justicia en Guatemala por el delito de genocidio. Las víctimas han reclamado justicia en Guatemala desde hace más de 30 años. Una justicia que, aunque tarde, en buena medida ha llegado por fin. Se tiene hoy una sentencia por genocidio en Guatemala. Lamentablemente, las redes de impunidad han hecho que esta sentencia no esté vigente legalmente, pero es un hecho que fue probado el genocidio en un tribunal. Es un hecho que las víctimas tuvieron la oportunidad de hablar frente a un tribunal, de expresarse. El general Montt tuvo que escuchar lo que había sucedido durante todos esos años que él gobernó, de las directrices que dieron para que se cometiera un genocidio. Se juzgó el genocidio Ixil, sin embargo, para nosotros eso es representativo de todos los pueblos originarios en nuestro país. Todos los pueblos mayas sufrieron el genocidio y para nosotros ha sido muy importante como organización el poder acompañar esa lucha de los sobrevivientes del delito de genocidio. Tal vez decir, fue un pequeño grupo de alrededor de 100 testigos y testigas que pudieron hablar. Fue muy importante sacar el tema de la violencia sexual, de la violencia contra las mujeres durante el conflicto. Fue un pequeño grupo, pero realmente es un grupo representativo de todo lo que sucedió durante esos años. Y recordando las palabras de algún sacerdote maya de la región Ixil, él fue muy sabio en decirnos, es la primera vez que se juzga un genocidio en 500 años en Guatemala. Así es que queremos agradecerles el premio y queremos agradecerles el apoyo que nos brindan en esta oportunidad. Gracias.
You talked about the importance of the support you've had all these years. Juana, you said we want to continue that struggle, so the same question really as to the others. What more can the EU do? What more can the people in this room do to continue to give you that support?
Bueno, básicamente creo que es muy importante. Guatemala está pasando por momentos complicados. Sí continúan las violaciones a los derechos humanos en nuestro país. Hay una conflictividad muy seria por el tema de la tenencia de la tierra y por el tema de la extracción minera que se está dando en nuestro país. Es muy importante que desde el resto del mundo, desde Europa, exista una vigilancia constante del respeto a los derechos humanos en nuestro país. Para nosotros es de suma importancia contar con el apoyo internacional en la defensa de los derechos humanos y poder sentirnos acompañados de que hay un mundo afuera. El delito de genocidio es un delito que no afecta a los pueblos mayas guatemaltecos, sino es un delito que afecta a toda la humanidad, y en ese sentido agradecemos y creemos que es muy importante el acompañamiento del resto de la humanidad en la lucha por la justicia y por fortalecer el Estado de Derecho en nuestro país.
Sí, gracias por el premio que nos entregaron hoy. Es un ánimo de lucha que vamos a seguir en adelante, y gracias a la Unión Europea que nos da el acompañamiento al proceso de justicia, y gracias, señores, señoritas internacionales que nos apoyan en el gran proceso del delito de genocidio, porque ciertamente hubo genocidio en el área de Ixil, departamento de Quiché, de Guatemala, donde quiera parte hubo genocidio. Por eso estamos aquí, estamos agradecidos por el premio, y eso quiere decir que vamos a seguir con la lucha hasta que yo voy a morir y se muere mi historia, porque mi historia es muy grande. Y muchas gracias.
They're going to be on sale, I think, just in the entrance after you leave, so support them if you can by buying something. Thank you to you all so far. It's been, I promised you inspiration, ladies and gentlemen. You're certainly getting a great deal of that. We are now going to move to our last category, and this is a special category. This is the Championing Equality category, and as it's a special category, it only has one award winner. Connie, please tell us about them.
Yeah, we will speak on spirit, but not in a religious way, because most of the SOLIDAR member organizations are non-religious, laic or non-confessional organizations, but we speak on the spirit level, which is completely different. And this prize goes to Richard Wilkinson and Kate Pickett, who are not here for the first time, lucky enough, but it takes time to get them being champion for what have they published and the studies they do. We listen from time to time to Mr. Barroso, who says you have to talk up the European Union. Yeah, sorry, we're not talking down the European Union, but we're talking up the inequality in Europe, and we see the social inequality rising, and what we need is support from people like Richard Wilkinson and Kate Pickett to highlighting the question of that in more of inequality and to prove that the quality of life goes through more equality for all. Therefore, the prize goes to Richard Wilkinson and Kate Pickett, or better, gender mainstream to Kate Pickett and Richard Wilkinson.
Many congratulations to you both. Who would like to kick us off? Richard,
well,
over to you.
Kate and I will both say a few words, but first I'd like to say I am humbled by the other prize winners. Kate and I have had, by contrast, very easy, comfortable lives. We have been academic epidemiologists working in public health, and in a sense we've just been doing our jobs. The picture that's been coming together in epidemiology, looking at the big social class differences in death rates in all our societies, depriving people of 5, 10, sometimes even 15 years life expectancy. And then as we began to understand what the causes of that were, realizing that those social class differences in health shared causes with many other social problems that also have those gradients, like violence, like teenage births, like mental illness, like the proportion of the population in prison. And we found as income differences get bigger in different societies, all these problems become more common. I think we aimed to get this picture that's based on research around the world onto the political agenda. We thought carefully about who to publish with because we realized that academics mostly, they publish in journals that nobody reads, just academics read. So what we were determined to do was get the picture out in an accessible form to influence politics. But we did that from a very easy background compared to the other prize winners.
Thank you. We'd like to thank Preise.
Thank all of you tonight and SOLIDAR for giving us this award. What we want to do going forward is make sure that issues of inequality remain on the political agenda and make the connections between a fair society for everybody and sustainable economies that the world so desperately needs. So we're working now to try and make sure that inequality becomes a measurable goal, or greater equality becomes a measurable goal in the post-2015 development goals, and that it is a central part of the sustainable development goals for the world as well. We believe that greater equality is the best way to ensure a high quality of life for everybody, and that a fair distribution of resources across populations, across the planet, is the only way that we can all cooperate together to create the sustainable development that the world needs.
Tonight about the importance of support for work, both not just political support but moral support. How important to you is it to get an award like this, to get the recognition for the work that you're doing? Richard?
I think that it strengthens us politically. It increases confidence. Doing this kind of work, bringing out the implications of research, you do get a lot of criticism, and sometimes it's public criticism, nearly always politically motivated. And so things like this I find enormously strengthening. And it's wonderful that organisations like the European Union gets a wider area.
Thank you. Kate, you talked about what you want to do in the future and keep these issues on the agenda. You talked about the measurable goal we need, and of course part of that great debate all the time. Everyone talks about the whole we need an indicator that's not GDP, but somehow that still seems to be the only one we talk about. What for you as you move forward, very concretely, can the European Parliament, can civil society, the European Union in all its facets do to help you in your work as you go forward?
I think the EU and civil society can help us strengthen the voice that calls for quality of life being goal rather than growth, and that greater equality is a really central part of that picture. You cannot have quality of life for everybody without greater equality. So we need your backing, and we need your voices added to ours as we continue to make that case.
And very eloquent voices they are indeed, ladies and gentlemen. So, that brings us to the end of the awards. And it's now my great pleasure and honour to give the floor to Josef Weidenholzer, MEP, who is, of course, the President of SOLIDAR. Josef, it's great to have you here to wrap up proceedings. So, over to you, sir.
Thank you. So, dear prize winners, dear colleagues and friends, it is a great pleasure for me to congratulate again for this important prize. It is for SOLIDAR the most important event in our calendar. We're very happy that we could award the prize. We know that many people in the room and outside the room are doing the same as our prize winners. We are fighting for a just society, and I think you are awarded you're awarded for a fight for a better life, which also other people deserve. And many people are doing the same fight as you, never getting any award, but they do it for a prize which is important to all of us. The prize is a better, a more just society. So all of us are striving for the same goal. This is a new format of SOLIDAR Severos. It's the first time we have it in a different way. It is a more open format as it used to be, and it is a format which I think gives civil society a stronger voice. And I want to especially thank the S&T group for making this possible. So, because this was always a more or less pure S&T event, we are opening up. We're opening up for a vision of another society. We are in the now facing the European elections, and I think for all of us it is important that this European project is not a mere economic project, that this European Economic Union becomes a social union. This is what unites us, despite the different political orientations. So what we want to do is to assemble progressive forces all over Europe, all over the world, in order to achieve a better society. I think in this direction we have to move as progressives, and I am very happy that so many of you turned up in such large numbers. We are very, very honored by your presence. I'm very happy, very proud that Jackie Davis was again playing her role in a different format, but Siberose without Jackie is just, without hearing your voice, is just not Siberose. So thank you very much. It was, I think, very, very important to have you here. And I also want to thank the organizing team. I want to thank Abby, Barbara, Sven for their contribution. Especially thank the jury, Baka, the president of the jury, and all the members of the jury, providing us with the names of these honorable prize winners. And there is one point why I have a rose with me. And it sometimes happens that people who are involved in this kind of events have a birthday on the same day as the Silver Rose. Last year it was my birthday. This year is the General Secretary's birthday. Connie Reiter has his.
We'll do it on the way out. We'll sing to Connie on the way out. Okay, Joseph, thank you very much indeed. And before I give the final word to our birthday boy, I'd just like to say a couple of extra thank yous. I'd like to thank Anna Isabel in the interpreters booth for... who not only has interpreted on stage but also in the audience. It's very hard going. Thank you so much. Fantastic music, you'll hear more of them in a minute. But now it's my pleasure to give the floor to the birthday boy to sing us out, talk us out, whatever you think is appropriate.
Right. I'm not Jim Morrison, so I cannot sing, but I'm still living, I'm not dying in a bathroom. Seriously, well, thank you very much. It's 25 plus 6. Yeah, we will have a drink outside. I want to thank all of you for coming, because when we say it's a prize for the civil society, this is not only SOLIDAR, because we will not pretend to stand for the civil society, but we play a role here, and we feel a mission, fighting for more fair and more equal societies in Europe and globally. And for this we need alliances. This is why we very much appreciate it that we have at least 3 political groups today with us. The SD group who supports the event, the Greens and GUIL and GL. That we have the ITUC and the ETUC with us, and also some global unions in this room, and also a special welcome to AFL-CIO from the United States. The TTIP will be very important to fight together against it, hopefully. And also a particular thank to a friend, Mrs. Lucas, because we are here in the European Parliament, but the European Economic and Social Committee is also a very important institution for us and is the house of civil society, so you deserve also that we welcome you here particularly. And Joseph has mentioned the team. It's not only 3 of the team who are working on it. It was Abby, it was Sven, it was Agatha, it was Elsa, Barbara, Margot, Aurora and Maurice. And I can say, as every year, I still continue to be Secretary General because I have this team, and they are really doing a tremendous amount of work, and I appreciate that very much, and you appreciate very much also, I think. Therefore, thanks for coming. La lotta continua, say the Italians, la lucha continua. We have heard this from Guatemala. We have an important calendar in the next weeks and months to come. We have some concern on the next European elections, and civil society is not a political party, but civil society is the binding element between the institutions and the society of the member states. And in civil society you have activists like we have heard and who received the award today. So thank you very much for coming, and enjoy now the informal part with us, and use in particular the opportunity to discuss with the winners, because this is a unique opportunity. Faces like us you can see quite every day, but they come exceptionally over here. So thank you very much, and thank you, Jackie.
Winners to celebrate Connie's birthday as well at the same time. Could I ask all our winners please to come forward to pose for a photograph, and it'll give us another opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to celebrate our inspirational, fantastic award winners tonight. So please do all come. If you can squeeze on the podium together, we'd like to take a picture of you. And the jury as well, if you can squeeze on, we'd love to have you in the picture. Down there, down there. Have the jury join us as well. Claudia, Olivier, Maka. For the photo? Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.